This weekend, the Blancpain GT Series Sprint Cup comes to the Hungaroring just outside Budapest for two more fantastic racing.
Promises to be a thriller, yes, but wet, yes. We have just had, it is still heavy rain, but there are levels of heaviness. What we do have is slicks as the cars leave behind the safety car. So the teams talked again. Oh, in fact, stopped, he says, looking at the puddles behind the commentary box. So things are improving, and let's hope now that things will dry out, because a wet race is one thing, but a race that starts wet and dries out will throw another element into it as people have to make a gamble on tyres. Carlo Van Dam there, who was 17th yesterday, second in Pro-Am, well worth watching. Engines fire up, the marshals, the officials, and the team person. We are behind the safety car because of the track conditions, and 3 laps minimum we are advised. So Raffaele Marciello as Michael Meadows is which includes the SMP Racing by Mirko Bortolotti there as he applies the power against dry line anywhere in Hungary. In the air, and the drivers now, but the safety car, as we understand it, will do a minimum of 3 laps. I do have some sympathy for the poor driver doing the opening stint in this race. It's a end of lap 1 before we can even think about getting the race underway. But so much, John Watson, for a hot and sunny...
Almost thunderclaps. Probably the odd fork of lightning.
We are racing in quotes. Raffaele Marciello leads the way.
They're coming through turns 5 and 6 and 7 in fact. That was there. No, there you go. You got a massive puddle. We saw actually a very well behaved field of cars without any contact.
Interesting as well, hearing Michael Meadows' comments about like you get the high grip level, but you also get these drivers' stints before they have to get to that pit window. And
the field thinks this is our way of maybe leapfrogging the cars that are...
Also, the weather has made up its mind by the time they pit. It might be Hungaroring. We are about to go green. The safety car peels in at the end of lap. Forms away. Lucas Stoltz goes after him second. It's a 5th is the leading Audi. Christopher Mies 6th Audi. Christopher Hasse. Bortolotti gets out of the spray. Has a look up the inside down towards turn 1. Very deep into the corner goes Stoltz, and look there, round the outside, Christopher Hasse tries, he'll have the inside line for the next corner as they pierce the gloom. On the inside line is Christopher Hasse, Christopher Mies, number 1 in the grey and
4, just to add a little bit further. Let's out that, or the Lexus off, as is one of these, that's the 17 ID, yeah. Yes it is.
Back up to 4th, Hasse 5th, there Carlo Van Dam is about to have a bit of a wobble, Ivatov is behind him, who had a spin at the end of yesterday's race, but up the inside now goes Albert Costa, looking for a way by, and he's taking with him Robin Fritz in the out.
There'll be a lot more standing water, now there's almost a whiteout as they come down into turn 12. The Ferrari snakes under brakes, the Mercedes more stable. Ferrari has got a way to get back on the throttle.
And on the inside line is Mies. Hasse tries the outside line again, very deep into the corner. Can he get the cut back?
That's what he's looking for. He's trying to get the undercut, get on the throttle a little bit earlier as Dennis Bulatov trying to make the move on.
Look round the outside is Bulatov, on the inside line is Fritz. Fritz is
small part of the racetrack fighting for position, and both cars went up there. Bulatov now finds a way up the inside of Carlo Van Dam, but still the Ferrari manages to keep its nose ahead.
Van Dam may not have the quickest car, but he's got one of the widest, hasn't he? And he knows exactly where to position it. Here comes Bulatov. Bulatov pulls it off, goes through on the inside. That was brave, that worked. He come back through the gloom. No, he's not. Van Dam is on the outside line. Bulatov is up the curb. Carlo Van Dam slots in behind him. Next is Fritz, then it's Costa in the Lexus from Pereira. Next in the queue to the inside line comes Robin Fritz. And Dennis Bulatov is ahead now. And I think he's up
to Robin Fritz, but of course the Ferrari and the Mercedes getting close together as the 25 Audi gets involved.
And also people suddenly have their lines affected by cars rejoining, and there's contact there. Around goes the other Santalot car. That's the Winkelhoff.
In an unsafe release. So he gets... and it's the 25 that comes out.
Cars now. There is 39, which is Piti Beiron-Bahti now, leading in Pro-Am. We mustn't forget the classes. So Pro-Am is being led by Piti Beiron-Bahti, and it is Neil Stevenart's Audi second. The Silver Cup, by the way, at the moment, being led by Hubert Haupt and Lucas Stoltz. Also, number 63 Lamborghini, Christian Engelhardt, Mirko Bortolotti. The pit stop is under investigation. Now, is that a legacy of the mechanic falling over?
I don't know, but certainly I saw one of the mechanics who was taking a wheel from the rear of the car.
Got here, let's have a look. Was there any contact? That's Neil Stevenart up the inside. Boom, gets into the side of him. But it's at the end of the straight, isn't it, where Piti Beiron-Bahti gets it all wrong. And we are going to a full course yellow, incidentally, as there, off slides the Ferrari.
Yeah, back locks up, and or maybe Houston McGrath actually ought to give you a little bit more traction. But in this case, and I think Piti Beiron-Bahti is still sitting behind the wheel as he is removed from. To know that when the track once again will go green when the Ferrari has been removed or dropped off the recovery. I mean, not a load as such, but in these conditions, not quite so much.
Safety, which is the Jirko and Christian Malčarek Audi Sport Slovakia car into the lead of Pro-Am. Now that's the one that's sitting between the top two in the race, with Michael Meadows the winner. And here is Pro-Am, but 26 Neil Stevenart actually has stayed ahead. So the Audi is going to be second there because it lost a lap under the safety car. So Jirko Malčarek fends off Piti Bieron-Bahti. There's a lap between them, but it's numbers. But yesterday to 16th place after contact with its sister number 2 entry into turn 13. And a pro brighter over the Hungaroring. As far as the Pro-Am Championship is concerned, Piti Bieron-Bahti and Carlo Van Dam, they are now third ahead of Michael Bronizeski. So there, Carlo Van Dam and Pro-Am, Marcus Winkelhock and Niels Stevenart. Niels, who's come from the... And the trophies to be presented there for the third place, Piti Bieron-Bahti. Not exactly all smile. Patricia Kiefer is there with the checks to be presented. Doing the whole season across both championships. And the trophies held aloft for the photographs from...
This track was very good and we are excited to do the qualify and race, and I think we should get a better result compared to the last race. This is my second year consecutive and I think this is the best race, and the environment, the car and the manufacturing, everything is so good, and at this time of the year you get the sun and not too hot.